job going then, Elsie?
Oh, so, you know, I'm demonstrating a gadget.
Yeah, it's a toasting thing, isn't it?
No, it's for making sandwiches. You know, I'm perfect at my patter and I'm great at drawing a crowd round. Then I make a load of sandwiches and they scoff the lot and go away without buying.
Oh, they buy here, all right, only some of them don't bother paying. Hello, ma'am.
Morning.
Had any luck?
Funny, you know. They said they knew nothing about them.
My mum's been to put her name down for one of them flats over the road, haven't you, ma'am?
Oh, well, they're all the same, that lot at the town hall.
Fellow at the housing department said he didn't know nothing about any plans for this street.
They probably thought you were trying to jump the gun, Hilda.
Yeah, well, they don't like being pushed, you know. They like to plod along.
Yeah, perhaps he was trying to fob me off for the time being. Right, ta-ra.
Ta-ra, ma'am.
How do you think I've got a chance?
Well, it does no harm to try, ma'am.
No, one-bedroom place would just suit me and Stan.
Well, wait till they start putting them up and have another go then. I mean, they can't plead ignorance then, can they?
No. No, I'll do that.
I haven't the heart to tell her she's wasting her time.
Well, she has as much chance as anybody of getting one.
What, with an husband like me dad? Can you see him paying fancy rents for a new flat?
Yes, I know glasses are being pilfered, but breakages are causing concern.
Breakages by customers or staff, Mrs. Walker?
Well, I'm sure you're very careful, but glasses are still being broken.
I see.
Come in. Oh, good morning, Mrs. Harvey.
Good morning, Mrs. Walker.
I'll be with you in a moment. So, what I would like you to do is to get out a complete list of all glasses, both wines and spirits, that we have on hand.
Right.
As quickly as possible.
Keeping them on their toes, Anne?
Well, one has to be firm but fair.
True. Well, I've had no success in finding a volunteer despite my efforts.
Neither have I. You would think at least one member of our committee would want to go to the opening.
You would, Anne, wouldn't you?
Excuse me. I've finished in the snug, Mrs. Walker, so I'll get cracking in here, eh?
Must you?
Yeah, well,
I mean, you can see I've got company.
Oh, well, I won't be too ticks. Besides, just take no notice of me. I've given it a good squirt now.
Yes, well, as quickly as possible.
You
please.
won't know I'm here.
Now, where was I?
With a view. La, la. Oh.
Oh, yes. Now, the people I asked were apparently too busy to go. But, you know, our president's going to be disappointed if there's no representative at that opening.
She'll be very put out.
Very. Well, I suppose it falls on the poor vice-presidents.
You and I.
We can't let the lady victual us down.
Our duty, Anne.
Our duty, Nellie, onerous though it may be.
Indeed.
Excuse me.
But, Nellie, don't I recall your Herbert saying how much he relied on you to help him run things?
Oh, it does still. But I suppose he could struggle along for a few hours if he had to.
Whereas, of course, I have an efficient staff and could easily get away. Yes.
Look, Anne, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll have a word with Herbert, and if he agrees, I'll sacrifice myself and go.
How sweet of you.
Oh, it's nothing. Good morning, Anne.
Good morning, Nellie. Bye-bye.
Hello.
Oh, any of them buckets going spare?
Well, when we have a special visitor, we empty the old nuts and bolts out of a jam jar and let them use that. Help yourself.
Oh, dear, you can't call that a car, can you? It's more like a luxury flat on wheels. Ooh.
Rather special, isn't it?
Yeah, you know all them thingies and lights on the dashboard. I asked Billy if they got a celebrity to switch them on every Christmas.
How's it going?
I shall be ready for tonight.
Have a look.
Well, at least you can say you've set him up, can't you?
Aye, that's about all. Unless the Lord Mayor would care to swap it for a tin of spaghetti.
I'll make it two, and I'll bet he lets you wind his window down.
It's played out, woman. Overrated.
Oh, I don't know. I look forward to it. I've looked forward to it for every year for the past 25 years.
What's this, Hilda?
Valentine's Day. Mind you, I've yet to get a card.
It's
off anybody.
It's overrated, I tell you.
And how many cards you get shoved under your door, Elsie?
Well, let me see. There was, And then there was, yes. Altogether, love, none.
Twice as many as I got.
There you are, you see, it shows you. You men's all alike once the chase is over.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Clegg, for all the trouble.
Oh, it's no trouble, Mrs. Walker. Oh, I'll bring the bread later.
Thank you. How much do I owe you?
That was £5 and 20 new pence.
Sounds more than £5.4, doesn't it?
Well, money is the least of my worries today, Mr. Ogden.
Yes. Perhaps she was expecting a valentine and didn't get one.
Oh, she didn't. I'd have seen it on a sideboard.
You could stay for some lunch if you like. I'm sure there's enough.
No thanks, I expect the mission committee will lay on a snack.
Sticky buns.
Well, even missions progress, you know. Mrs. Woodley does a very nice cucumber sandwich.
Do buck up, Ernest. You've only been summoned to a meeting, not to a kangaroo court.
Just natural trepidation, Emily, at anything the slightest official.
I was wondering, actually,
Yeah?
if you might put forward an idea I've been mulling over. For a ladies' discussion circle. Serious discussion, you know, topics of the day, not jam recipes. Are you listening, Ernest?
Discussion circle, yes, it's a great idea. I'll bring it up.
I'll try to do it with a little enthusiasm for my sake.
I'll do more than that. I'll do it with sparkle. Guess, well, I'd better be off.
Good luck.
Thanks. Think I might need it?
No.
I hope not.
Have you been chopping iron girders with this?
Not me, mate.
Well, somebody has. It wouldn't cross-cut a fresh meat pie. Hey, have you got the address?
Yeah, in a minute.
Right, you do the hand base and I'll be there about 3 o'clock, all right?
Okay.
Trouble with all these fiddling little jobs is you spend more time humping the stuff there than you do working.
Well, they pay as well.
Not as much as a big contract, you know, long-term stuff. All the big development going on around here, we should be more in on it.
We're doing all right.
Oh, we don't even tender for what's going up on our own flaming doorstep. I mean, we could have tried for a slice of that flat development, but isn't it considered sporty for a councillor to cash in too much on council projects?
Well, there are rules about declaring your interest and so on. Anyway, I thought we had enough on.
Yes, I suppose so. And if I remember right, there was enough snide remarks about the profit we made on the last lot of flats.
There was to make me run chat, yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe when this lot gets up, we'll cop for some maintenance work. How's it going, Squire?
Oh, then.
You were just saying about the new flats.
Oh, yes.
Well, now you're well in with big chiefs. Between you and Len, you should be able to swing some maintenance work our way.
He's a glutton for work, he's my mate.
I'm a glutton for the end product, Leonard. Money. See you.
Come in here, mate.
Everybody's assuming. We agreed the best policy was to say nothing at all about it. Wait for the official council announcement.
I know we agreed. But supposing it leaks out that there isn't a block of flats going up on that site?
Well, I don't see how it can leak. The office staff have been instructed to say nothing about it. I've just had a word with the site foreman, and he's passing the word round with the lads now.
And he doesn't want to fall out with the locals. Not with that schedule to keep up.
So don't worry. When the time's right, the plan will be disclosed. But that's not at present, Len.
Not even a solitary daffodil.
Oh, give it a flipping rest, wilt
Armistead gave me a locket one year.
More than I've ever had.
Art-shaped locket, it were with tiny key.
Yeah, somebody once bought me a brooch. It must have cost him all of 3 and 6pence.
Well, not being one to boast, I wouldn't dream of showing off, but good-looking chap bought me that.
Hey, well, mate, you only know Thomas. Was he dark and handsome?
Must think a lot of me.
Anybody we know?
Yes. Gordon. So, I must say I like his choice in Diamantis.
You had us going there for a minute, Maggie.
Give us a quick half bet, will you? Quicker than that if you can manage it.
Oh, thirsty work over there, is it?
Ooh, all building sites are thirsty work, you know. It's all that sand and cement. And if you don't wash it down, you know, your throat silts up.
Hey, what do you mean? There's no sand flying about today. It's sloppy with mud.
Ah, well, I wouldn't know about that, love. I haven't clocked in yet. That's better. It's my chest.
Makes you thirsty?
No. Why, I haven't clocked in this morning.
Oh, I see.
The foreman says be here at 8 o'clock sharp, you see. Well, I couldn't, could I? It's my chest. I had to go to the quack, you see. It comes on me very sudden.
Oh, I see. When you have to clock in at 8 o'clock.
Aye, well, that's what he'll think when I haven't clocked in, you see. Oh, it's a hard man.
Hey, long do you reckon they're going to be? You know, building like.
Oh, I wouldn't know about that, love. I'm just labouring there, you know.
Only I'd like to put my name down for one.
I'm not with you, missus.
You know, a flat.
I'm still not with you.
Oh, what you building over the road? I wouldn't mind moving into them flats once they're finished.
I think you've been given a bit of duff information there, love. There's no flats going up on that site.
We were under the impression that that's what the council had in mind.
No, love, you've got it wrong. It's a warehouse.
A warehouse?
Yes, a flipping great big mail order warehouse. Great drink, that, Bet. You're pulling well today. Ta-ra.
A flipping warehouse?
Opposite here?
That's what the man said.
How dreadful.
Well, it mightn't be as bad as all that, Mum. More custom for a start.
What do you think, Mrs. Walker?
Well, my initial reaction is to protest most strongly.
Here, quite right.
The feeling's unanimous.
Is it, heck?
I take it you're the odd man out.
Well, one big slab of concrete's much the same as any other, if you ask me. I don't know what you're getting so het up about.
Environment.
Oh, yeah, what, round here? Spoil the view of the gasworks, will it?
Traffic, for instance. This street's a backwater, an occasional private car. The big mail order business, can't you see the added danger to children and the elderly?
And pets.
Yeah, well, it depends upon the setup, doesn't it?
Well, it'll lower the tone.
Yeah. I mean, we're residential and a warehouse is industrial.
Yeah, well, I'll leave you suburbanites to it. Excuse me. See you, Stanley.
No wonder they fobbed you off at the town hall when you went to make inquiries.
No, they must have known all along what was really happening.
Housing department, it were.
Oh, them clerks, they're all the same.
No, wait, I've just thought of something. Len Fairclough were well in with that lot. Now, he must have known about it and all.
Yes, that's more than possible.
Highly probable.
If you can spare a moment, Mrs. Walker.
Always time for you, Mrs. Harvey. Do come through.
Hey, perhaps Ray can tell us something.
What's that, Oggy? Hey, brown mix, love, please.
The building site.
Yeah.
Well, it's not to do with me. I'm not working on the flats.
No, nor anything else.
You are?
They're putting up a warehouse, Ray.
Well, it's the first I've heard about it.
Len hasn't told you?
No, he's not on to me.
Well, he's a mate of yours, isn't he?
Well, look, him and what's-his-name Roberts are down at the yard now. Go and see them for an explanation. Don't get on to me about it.
Yeah, well, why don't we then? Let's go and see Councillor Flipping Fairclough.
Why not indeed?
Yeah, well, I'd love to come along with you, but I'm afraid I've got to get off to work. It's a long time since I'd have an excuse to thump Len Fairclough round the Herald. See you, ta-ra.
Stanley,
I've got this to finish.
it'll not go cold. Come on.
Why couldn't you wait till closing time? All right, I'm coming.
Well, I've had a word with Herbert, and he agrees that I should go to this opening. Insists, in fact.
What an ideal husband you have, Nellie.
I told him I'm not one to take my duties lightly.
No.
I mean, being next down the line for president, I have to be ready to assume responsibilities. Like I always say, those at the top have to put in something extra.
Yes.
For the good of the association.
Yes.
I mean, the officers must be prepared to make sacrifices.
My sentiments exactly, Nellie.
Well, I must be off. Things to do, plans to make. You don't mind me going, do you? Me? Goodbye, Anne.
Goodbye, Nellie. Hello? Is that the brewery? Could you put me through to the publicity office? Yes, I'd like to speak to whoever is in charge of the guest list for the opening of the new motel. Oh, yes, Vice President of the Lady Victuallers Association, Mrs. Walker of the Rover's Return. Thank you, dear.
Don't blame me, mate. I was just on my way back down to the garage and I thought I'd pop in and mark your car for you, seeing as how you did me a favour. You know what I mean? Oh, about repairing the mayor's car, yeah.
We'll have to face them then, won't we?
Well, you got no option, mate. Here comes the lynching mob now.
Yes, yeah. Excuse me.
I do.
I assume you already know why we're all here.
Yeah.
See ya. How do, mate?
Well, we're waiting.
Well, first of all, I've got to admit I knew about the warehouse.
Oh, Len.
Let me finish, love. I also knew that when you found out, you'd be annoyed. You'd be mad.
With justification, Mr. Fairclough.
But for various reasons, the council wanted it kept dark.
So you put the dubious interests of the council before our interests?
We elected you, Len, don't forget.
Yeah, and we can chuck you out and all.
Well, that's your privilege. I only thought I was doing the best in everyone's interests. I mean, I represent everyone round here, not just one particular street.
Yeah, but we're neighbours of yours, we are.
Councillor Fairclough's right. You've got to see the whole picture.
And you can shut your face, you're only a foreigner.
Well, let's look at it this way. What, Mrs. Cole?
May I sit down?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Well, now that you're all settled down, the one important fact is that we are getting a community centre.
Oh, well, I suppose that is something.
I wouldn't argue with that, but isn't that just a bribe to mollify us, councillor?
Yeah, of course it's a bribe. Stanley?
Oh, it stands out a mile.
It's not a bribe.
I think so too. It's my view we should organise a meeting to see what steps we can take.
Well, that's up to you, of course, but the fact is that that is the town, can't have a community centre without the warehouse.
More conniving.
No. The position is this. Now, if you remember, that mail order firm was granted a site the other side of the Red Wreck, right?
Do go on.
Later, the council was strongly advised that that site was a better position than Coronation Street for the housing redevelopment plan. So after a bit of negotiation, they came to an agreement.
I see, to switch sites.
That's it.
But, Len, I don't see why we should...
Let me finish, love. So, you see, the council get the site that they badly wanted. And we get a community centre on a piece of leftover land.
Well... Is it possible to see the plans, Mr. Fairclough?
I can arrange that.
So there you are. You can't have one without the other. So you'll have to make up your minds. And fast.
Well, I've already made up my mind. Stanley?
Oh, my mind's made up.
Mrs. Harvey to see Mrs. Walker.
Thank you. Do sit down, Nellie dear.
I will not. And don't try buttering me up, Annie Walker, not after what you've done.
And what have I done?
You know very well what you've done. I'll ring up about the motel opening when I get home to tell them I'll be going, and what do I discover?
I was merely trying to help.
We've just had Mrs. Walker on, they said, volunteering to go to the opening, relieving everyone of what they appear to regard as a dreary duty.
That was the impression you gave me, Nellie. All that talk about duty, having to ask Herbert's permission.
Oh, you're two-faced, Annie Walker, aren't you? It's what you've been angling for all along, to queen it with the knobs.
I assure you, Nellie, I just didn't want you putting yourself out.
You should be put out every night, like the bloody cat you are. And don't ever speak to me again.
Goodbye, Nellie dear.
Oh, ciao, Mrs. Harvey.
Goodbye, Mrs.
I
Harvey.
thought her and your mother were supposed to be mates.
They are.
Well, I took the opportunity to go and see the plans, and there's one particularly disturbing aspect. The loading bays face straight onto the street.
There you are, you see. No thought for the residentials.
Well, I'm due back at Mr. Bishop's studio, but however you decide to oppose this move, you can certainly count me in.
Right on.
Ready?
Try. Bye. Well, it's not the loading bays I'm worried about.
Well, it's going to be very dangerous, chuck all them big lorries.
And very noisy, Irma.
Listen, my mother spends enough money on the mail order catalogue. She'll go wild with the whole flaming warehouse right across the street.
Oh, be serious. Tell us, Stan.
No, be serious, yes.
All right for Billy Walker. He's dead chuffed in with his garage. More traffic, the better for him.
Well, it'll be like brand new when it's finished.
Good. When can the mayor expect to get it, then?
Possibly tomorrow.
Oh, no, the day after, I should think.
Ernest! They do a grand vodka in here. Have a pint on me.
No, thanks, Lord. Is Miss Nugent in?
She said she was going to the studio, love.
Oh, I missed her, have I? I think I'll accept your offer of a drink after all.
Vodka?
Sherry, please.
Sherry, please.
Now, look, it's no good us yapping amongst ourselves. What we've got to do is ask everybody to a proper meeting.
The sooner the better.
Tomorrow. Stan?
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Dad, do you know what we're talking about?
Of course I do.
Bed. Mrs. Walker's bed.
All right,
Thanks, love. Hello. Said hello.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Mrs. Clay.
Miles away.
Yes, I was.
Anything wrong?
No. Well, I'm a little depressed.
Well, it's not like you. You're usually cheering folk up.
My vocation, you might say.
And you're not the only one who can do that. I'm a dab on myself.
It's a personal problem.
In other words, I'm being nosy. And you're right.
Oh, I didn't mean to be impolite. I'd like you to stay. It's a dilemma, Mrs. Clegg. I've just come from the mission committee meeting.
Oh, yes.
Well, as you know, I'm a lay preacher. It's something I'm very keen about.
Oh, yes, I know.
Possibilities are I shall have to give it up.
Dave, what, the mission don't want you?
Well, they haven't chucked me out or anything like that, but there's a vociferous minority that considers all our lay preachers should be married. Family men.
Oh, I see. Anyway, if it's only a few, there's no need for a deep depression.
Yes, but the implication's still there,
Oh,
Mrs.
take
Clegg.
no notice. They can't afford to lose you.
No, I was thinking of Emily, Miss Nugent.
Oh,
Well, I've always intended
yes.
to speak to her when the right moment came.
Well, that's fine then. There's no time like the present, is there?
But that's just it. Now, you see, I feel I can't. I mean, it'll obviously appear to her that I'm being dictated to by the committee. I'd appreciate you keeping this to yourself.
Of course I will.
Thanks.
Here, I've just thought of something. Mrs. Sharples knew about that community centre and all.
Oh, yes, Ina did mention it to me.
Well, if she knew about that, she must have known about the warehouse and all.
It's not the first time Mrs. Sharples has acted secretively.
No. Well, when she gets back from wherever, she's going to have something to answer for.
That's fighting talk, ma'am.
I know.
Well, I reckon the mayor of Weatherfield ought to be dead chuffed with that. It's a good job well done, is that?
Should be very well pleased. It's a perfect job.
Fixed with loving care.
Hey, Billy, can I beat the arm?
We test everything tomorrow, love, on a test run.
Test run? For fixing the front bumper bar?
It's all part of service, isn't it? I mean, it might not just be the front bar that's affected.
But you checked everything, and I double-checked everything.
And I say we test run tomorrow.
Hey, what have you got in the back? A super minicar or something? Wouldn't mind going for a run in this. That's if you're going anywhere.
Hey, can I come and all? It's my day off.
Hey, why not? Let's all take the day off. That'll do us good, the four of us.
Oh,
How about that?
Honey, no.